funny argument they make is that life is a gift. You've been given it, and you kind of have to pass it on, pass it forward. First of all, we can't say for sure whether life is a gift or a curse. You know, when you say that life is a gift, you better speak for yourself. Maybe it's a gift for you. It has not been only a gift for a lot of people in this world. It has been rather a tough struggle. It has been life full of challenges and full of pain and suffering. That also happens every day, and only if you choose not to notice that or not to pay too much attention to it and focus on the bright side all the time, that doesn't mean that your child will choose to do the same. And also there are some objective circumstances, some objective dangers, so to say, that can happen, and you have no control over it. When you buy a gift and give it to someone, something nice, they don't like it, they can throw it away. It's not as easy with life. Life is kind of imposed on you, whether you like it or not. No one asks you permission, and then, well, it's not that easy to end it. Of course, it may be technically easy, but, you know, psychologically, it's not, you know. Seeing how the fear of death is very overwhelming in a person. So a person who doesn't like this life is caught into, you know, a very unpleasant place where at one side the suffering that they face, and the other side the fear of death and all the stuff. It's really far from being a gift. So I'm not saying it's only a bad stuff, but what I'm saying is that you don't know what you're given. For some people, life turns out to be probably more happy than full of pain, and for others it turns out to be more painful. Some children have chronic diseases, some turn out to be cripples till the end of their lives. So, and it's not like on TV we see when a cripple becomes a famous painter and stuff. He or she paints with his feet. It's great when it happens. It really is. You can admire that person and applaud that, but there are hundreds of thousands of other you know, physically disabled people who are not that, you know, lucky, and are not that, you know, maybe creative, and they are just, well, struggling to live another day and have some, at least some joy out of life. It's not that easy for them as it, you know, for some other people. So you cannot say that universally it is an undisputable truth that life is a gift and you have to pass it on. Because when you pass it on, you cannot guarantee the quality of life. In fact, you do not guarantee anything. You don't know, and you cannot say, well, I'll have a kid and he'll be happy till the end of his life. You don't know that. What you're given is a Russian roulette, a chance, and it can turn out good and it can turn out bad. And then, finally, think about the, you know, the situation today. Why do you think that everybody is obliged to reproduce? The situation today is that the world is overpopulated because of this mindless reproduction that everybody is taking part in. And the consequence of that is that there's scarcity of vital resources like food and water, and the prices of this first need commodities like food, rising day by day. So more people means even more problems, especially if you have children. You have to be thankful to those who don't, because they will not be competing with your kids for the vital resources and for other, well, goods of this world, they simply do not exist. So the less people there are on Earth, the higher the quality of life for those who are living, the higher standards, the cleaner air, the less pollution, and the decrease in cancer rates, because the pollution is directly, involved in that. So if anything you should be feeling towards child-free people is gratitude, simple as that. Well, I happen to think that it's not our obligation to reproduce. And even if it's not our obligation, we still will reproduce. Don't worry about that. There still will be people who will be reproducing. Even if it's not fashionable someday, even if it's not considered an obligation, there will be people who will be raising kids. Yeah, you doubt it? I don't doubt it. So it's not a problem. I'm not arguing for human extinction, and I don't think it will ever happen by, from child-free people winning the hearts and minds. I don't think it will ever happen. If a human extinction is ever going to happen, it will come from, nuclear war, which partly is a result of overpopulation, maybe, maybe not. But overpopulation sure creates more competition for resources. Resources are not endless of this world. Even though it's a big world, abundant Earth, has its limits. So I think my point is clear. I think we should care more about the quality of life of people who are already living than about the quantity of people. Why this obsession with creating more and more kids? Another unit, another unit, another unit, what for? To join the army? What's the point of that? So I think there are a lot of problems in society that better to be solved, and we could all maybe make an input into that sphere instead of just creating more people who don't know what to do and where to look for the answers and just become the obedient workers and another servant of the society. I think we should just stop and think for ourselves, what do we want? How do we accommodate the needs of different people in this world? And how do we become more tolerant towards each other and try and live together and not kill each other so often on a regular basis as we usually do. So now, as to the hidden reasons for hostility that child-free, especially women, get, especially from women who are either mothers themselves or they plan to be mothers. First of all, happy people are not resentful. No. Happy people, a mother who is happy being a mother, she loves her kids, she loves her family, she loves caring for her kids and seeing they grow up. These kind of people, they're not resentful, they're not hostile. Well, they may think that, doesn't want kids. Well, that's kind of weird, because it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of joy. I can imagine my life without kids, but fine, they don't want it. It's kind of their choice. I don't mind, but hey, wait, I need to go, I need to, cook a dinner for my kids. So no time thinking about that and no time experiencing these angry emotions towards child-free people. Because, they found their way, their happiness, and why should they care about other people choosing to live their life differently? So the hostility never comes from them. Those who feel aggressive towards child-free women, they are either, one of those who feel obliged to become mothers themselves. They I'm not saying that they don't want to. Maybe they feel like doubtful. Maybe I want to become mother, maybe not, but they feel obliged. They feel this. They are under this peer pressure from the society, from their parents and relatives, and they know how much judgment will come from uh, their circle if they say openly or choose to not to become mothers. So they feel really pressed to fit into this script and become mothers at some point. This is a necessary plan in their life. So they can feel hostile to women who choose not to become mothers simply because they see that those women are more independent and free, and they would like to be just as free and independent and be able to say to everybody, go to hell, this is my life, I'm gonna decide what I want, not gonna let you to dictate me, but they can't find the guts to say that. They go with the flow, but they hate everybody who is able to turn around and live their life just the way they feel is right for them. So this is one category. You can see why they feel aggressive. And the other category is, of course, those who became mothers, and maybe they love their children, but it's really tough being mothers for them. It's a burden, and it's a challenge. So um, those people, of course, they are a little bit envious because child-free women, they are living manifestations of what their life could have been had they made another choice other than, live up to the expectations of the society and become a mother. So I'm not saying again that they hate their children. They may love their children, and sometimes it's normal that you love your kids, but also you kind of feel so tired and exhausted from parenting that you sometimes wish you didn't have a kid. So those women, of course, are very hostile towards women who went the other way, chosen the other road.